All right, it's been a rough start to the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. It just got a little rougher. Our guy Keith Pompey from the Philly Inquirer says James Harden has a right foot tendon strain and he could be out a month. Woj got the report first. So Harden, who actually came into training camp and came to the season in pretty good shape, Tom Haberstroh, he looked pretty good, giving you 22 points a game, 10 assists. James Harden looking all right, out for a month. What do you think that does for Philadelphia?
Oh, man, if there wasn't tire fires going on everywhere in the league, I'd say this is the biggest story in the league right now is James Harden. They can't afford James Harden to be out for a month. Certainly not Joel Embiid, who's already had a series of injury issues going over the past several years. He's going to have to be leaned upon now, perhaps more than ever, because this is a scenario in which you have Tyrese Maxey, the young up-and-coming star who's going to get the rock and going to have to score 25, 30 points a night to stay afloat. But Joel Embiid has to bring it defensively and offensively. This is a team that's not structured in a way that it can just float and expect that James Harden is going to be out a month and they're going to be a 500 team. Joel Embiid did not look engaged to start the season, has been ill recently. And I just think this is a big red flag for the Philadelphia 76ers unless Tyrese Maxey is going to continue being the number one scorer.
Could this, and I know, you and Amin are members of Basketball Illuminati. Two things here. Could this be? Have you cleaned up your third eye? Before you answer this question, you got to clean up your third eye. Could this be a blessing in disguise, considering this looks like Darryl ball? This looks like Mike D'Antoni ball, as opposed to Joel Embiid ball. And we know where Mike D'Antoni ball gets every team. It gets you worn down and worn out before the calendar gets to June. And secondly, should the Philadelphia 76ers be making a call to Brooklyn and asking about the services of one Kevin Durant?
Wow. I mean, you have ripped my third eye wide open, Vinny, with that. I love it. I thought you were going, hey, is this James Harden sitting out, taking his time in the regular season? And if the whole thing goes sideways on him, maybe that will justify moving Doc Rivers out and bringing in his former coach in Houston, Mike D'Antoni, in. You took that and you doubled down with the KD take. And I love this. I love this out of you, because what I didn't consider is the fact that someone's going to take advantage of this situation in Brooklyn. Someone's going to get on the phone with Kevin Durant or his agent or the Brooklyn Nets and say, all right, KD, if KD's hitched his wagon to Kyrie, that's not going to work out. If KD's not happy, then he's going to want out. And the Brooklyn Nets are going to be sitting in this situation and look at themselves in the mirror and say, look at this future we have for ourselves. Kyrie Irving is going to be a free agent after this summer. Ben Simmons has been a mess, and he can't be depended on at all. And so you're looking at, well, our only asset that we can use is Kevin Durant. And so if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have to look strongly in the mirror and see, all right, how do we get out of this mess? Are there other stars out there that we can trade Kevin Durant for in earnest, right? This summer when they were going and saying, all right, well, he's made a trade demand and Sean Marks and Steve Nash, or else they're both going to be out. I can't say that was in earnest, that they were looking to trade Kevin Durant. I will say now, with all of their options seemingly exhausted with Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, that's absolutely what Daryl Morey should be doing, is getting on the phone and seeing, hey, is KD available right now? Because we got a young star in Maxey. We got Joel Embiid. Not that I would trade Joel Embiid for KD right now, but I'm saying you would want to get on the phone and have those discussions.
Give me a good fit besides Philly for Kevin Durant. I mean, just give me a couple teams that it would make so much sense for that team and for Brooklyn.
We always have to have Miami in that conversation. They have Tyler Hero under contract, Bam Adebayo. They've always, every time I doubt them, with the Jimmy Butler summer, I did not think that he was going to be going to Miami, no matter how many whispers we had about him potentially wanting to go and hook up with Pat Riley in Miami. I did not see that happening. And then, of course, Andy Ellisberg, the GM there, made it happen with the sign and trade with Josh Richardson. Okay. So I always put Miami in those conversations. They always go big game hunting. And so Kevin Durant and Miami always going to be on my radar. But outside of that, I mean, Phoenix, of course, they're now got only one loss. They're top of the Western Conference. The DeAndre Ayton situation has not been settled. It would have to be a 3-team deal, I believe, in order for that to work. But those are two destinations I continue to look at, in addition to Philly that Vinny brought up. Phoenix, Miami, and Philly. Got to be the teams that you would want to talk to if you're the Brooklyn Nets here.
It would never happen. I know it would never happen. But there's a team in the Bay that's struggling right now. And they got a bunch of young players. Not a bunch of young players that you could put in the trade. And you got an older roster that maybe you're having one last dance on because Draymond Green's contract is going to reach an impasse at the end of this. I'm not saying that there's a team that could do it. I'm just saying that there's a team that could want that old thing back.
Hey, Vinny, I totally agree with you, except the time was not now. The time was this summer because the stock for Kuminga and the stock for James Wiseman has gone plummeted down since the start of this season. They're not the young duo. Moses Moody, I think, is probably has the highest ceiling and maybe the best player of those three prospects. But, man, it's going to be hard for me to think that Brooklyn Nets are looking at that situation and saying those three prospects over there, those young players, those are bankable pillars that we can build around. Jordan Poole, another good young piece for them. But, man, I think that deal, if that was going to come together, I think it would have happened this summer because right now those prospects do not have a good stock.
You know, Tom, I don't know if you realize, you know, Vinny Goodwill likes to play games. You know, he likes games. So he likes to put you on the spot with games that he plays. Let's play a game, Vinny often says. So I want to say, let's play a game, Tom. If you were advising Kyrie Irving and Adam Silver the last couple of days, what would you tell each of those guys about their situations, about their public statements? Start with Kyrie, and then let's get to Adam Silver. If you're advising these guys, what would you say?
Well, Kyrie Irving, if I'm not advising him, I would probably quit. I don't think he's listening to me. I don't think he's listening to anybody right now. The only person that Kyrie Irving seems to be listening to is himself. I don't know who he's getting guidance from on this, but to me, enough with the statements, enough with the just apologize. Just apologize. Say I'm sorry and move on, because every time he says you're painting me into a corner, he's painting himself as the victim here. And I don't think that that's advisable, especially when you're dealing with the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver, who has been dared every step of the way to do something. And Kyrie Irving, if he apologizes, I think this doesn't make everything better. It doesn't make everyone whole in this situation, but it certainly moves things forward. And right now, I wish the NBA would have a spine rather than a statement, right? Take a stand here. Like, when you're putting out the NBA did not name Kyrie Irving in their original statement about this, and it took them a long time to get there. So they have people in a conference room trying to figure out, what are we going to say about Kyrie? Well, we can't put his name in there. Why? I don't know. We can't put his name. We don't want to be that direct or that specific. We just want to have this pillowy, generic statement. Adam Silver has been MIA on this whole thing, and he's saying, I'm going to meet with Kyrie in the next week. Why can't you just get on the phone with him today? Why can't you talk to him today, right now, and have that meeting already? It doesn't have to be in person. Maybe it would help to be in person.
Oh, no, it needs to be in person. That needs to be in person, Tom.
Well, David Stern would have had that meeting already. We know that. He would have been on the first flight out there, or he would just have the phone call and Kyrie Irving would be suspended right away. I'm surprised he hasn't been suspended yet, but you know what this does? It enables not just Kyrie, it enables anybody who wants to take that blueprint from Kyrie. Because look at what happened. He hasn't been suspended. He hasn't had to talk to the media. He hasn't had a harsh word or having the NBA speak out against him publicly. And Nike hasn't done anything as far as we can tell. So for Kyrie Irving, why wouldn't he continue down this path? Yeah, he's getting a lot of noise from the outside and catching a lot of grief outside, but he's still playing basketball. He's not being suspended. Hey, I don't want to talk today. Okay, cool, Kyrie. You're good. man, it just seems like they're enabling Kyrie and telling everybody else, hey, if you follow that blueprint, you'll be taken care of with kid gloves as well.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.